sun hits hard and the lights shine bright. There's a show every week that just feels right. Pep got the mic in the inland pride, breaking down plays with that hometown vibe. From Friday Night Lights to the college game flow, you know it's real when Pep says go. It's the Inland Sports Show. Stories come alive, rivalries grow all week long. Alright, Inland Sports, yeah, we're repping the IE, of course. Inland Sports, Pep Fernandez runs the show. Let's go. From hoops on the hardwood to the gridiron grind, Pep's calling out highlights you won't find online. Coaches, players, legends dropping one by one, talking victories hard and how seasons begin. Bridge city to city, from riverside to the past, fans tune in cause the moments don't last. It's the Inland Sports Show. Stories come alive, rivalries grow all week long. Alright, Inland Sports, yeah, we're repping the IE, of course. Inland Sports, Pep Fernandez runs the show. Let's go. From the power bears roaring to the sharks on the rise, Terriers, Titans, and the brave Huskies fight. Cougars and Wolverines under big stadium beams. Yeah, the Inland Empire's got hometown teams. It's the Inland Sports Show. Stories come alive, rivalries grow all week long. Alright, Inland Sports, yeah, we're repping the IE, of course. Inland Sports, Pep Fernandez runs the show. Let's go.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Inland Sports Show. I'm your host, Pep Fernandez. We come at you every single Wednesday night with the latest going on in our Inland Sports Show coverage area. Listen, we got a great show. We're going to talk some high school baseball in just a moment with Santiago Santiago. We got the skipper, Ty De Trinidad, one of his star players as well, Striker Pence. We're also going to check in. Let's see. We got boys basketball news from La Sierra High School. Kind of a wacky story. We're going to break some news here. Two very familiar names back in the coaching ranks at La Sierra. We got them later in the show. And we're going to lead things off right now with some girls lacrosse. Murrieta Mesa is a 6-time Southwestern League champion. They are 60-0 the last 6 seasons, and now they prepare for the CIF Southern Section playoffs. We will see the brackets on Friday morning when they come out. They're not sure if they'll be Division 1, maybe Division 2. Either way, the goal is the same. Win or ring. They want to make a CIF run. They've had a great regular season. They collected another Southwestern League title. But now it's about to get real, and the Rams are hoping to make a run for a CIF title. Murrieta Mesa girls lacrosse right now on the Inland Sports Show. Inland Sports. And now join us here on the Inland Sports Show, your Southwestern League champions of the world, the Murrieta Mesa girls lacrosse team. Yeah, give it up. Yes. Well, congratulations, ladies. Head coach Molly Sovacool right there, kind of on your screen left. Coach, if my math serves me correct, and it might be wrong, but it might be right, I think you guys have won 60 consecutive league games. Does that sound about right? And what's the secret to your success?
Yeah, they're 16-0 in league, so that's been a really big feat. The girls have felt a lot of pressure, but I'm really proud of them, so let's give it up to you guys. The secret to the success, we have great admin that allow for our 7th period lacrosse PE class, and I know that's crazy, but I'm blessed with really good parents and amazing players. So they're working out all year long. They're multi-sport athletes. We talk about that being really important, but they put in the work. So the success comes from their dedication and commitment to the team and the program.
All right, Coach Sovacool, if you had to pick like a secret ingredient, like something that is the key to a championship team or a successful team, whatever that looks like to you, what is that secret ingredient? What's the recipe to make a winner?
I was going to say Chick-fil-A. Honestly, team chemistry. You have to have the athletes. We talk about there being like athletes that are just gifted. They're good. They don't really have to work hard, but they're just good. Then we talk about the grit and the grind from girls that are not naturally as athletic. And then we are really blessed to have a handful of girls that have both on this team, and they get along and they do it for each other, and there's not a lot of blame game, and it's been fun. It's been relaxing, stressful at times within the games, but the stress isn't coming from making sure the girls get along. So I really appreciate that about this team. It's been honestly one of the most blended teams we've had maybe ever at Mesa. So knocking on wood right now as we start to hit that postseason, but chemistry is huge and commitment is huge, and we have both of those things within our program, so we're really blessed.
All right, Coach, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm a lacrosse expert, but you talked about chemistry and the connectedness of this team, but on the field or the pitch or whatever you guys call it, like what is the thing that you guys have done well all season long that kind of separates you from everybody else?
I think once we hit league play, I'll tell you what we do well, and we do a lot of things well right now as a team. So the list could go on. They're winning draws. They're catching balls that are near uncatchable. They're making shots that are near unstoppable. Our defense is dominant. They're fierce. They're aggressive. I think we've allowed in the least amount of goals ever in school history within league. So that's a huge feat to our defense, and within the teams that have come before them, they've been so great. But we can shoot. We can catch, we take the ball away, we win the ball off the draw. So honestly, we're just a well-rounded team with a really great midfield. Leah Gant, Perla Mendez, and Liv Garate here, they're just really hard to compete with, especially where we're at right now. So we're just well-rounded from goalie all the way down to attack, and our bench is strong. Our team is tough, yeah.
Yeah, you just mentioned Perla Mendez. I mean, you got some strong seniors. She's the second leading scorer. Liv Garate over here. I want to go to Liv next. And Liv, I got a hard-hitting question right off the bat. Because you guys are fueled by Chick-fil-A, what is your Chick-fil-A order? What did you get tonight?
Usually when I go to Chick-fil-A, I get an 8-count nugget and then mac and cheese and maybe a little milkshake on the side.
That sounds just about right. That's the perfect meal right there. Liv, if Max Preps is up to date, I got you at 81 goals on the season. What has been the key to your success this year?
Just always putting in the work no matter what. Even like just talking to my teammates, they've assisted me so much also. And just learning how to work with each other, getting lanes open, knowing when to cut and drive.
Now, Liv, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you're either committed or you signed or somewhere. Like you're gonna play at the next level, right?
Yes, I'm playing at Colorado Pueblo.
And how cool is that there's opportunities for high school, girls lacrosse players to have a chance to play at the next level? Was that a dream of yours, or when did you feel like it didn't become a reality until this last year? Like, what did you think about this opportunity to play in the college level?
We've always had girls mostly every year committing to go play lacrosse in college, and my family's always played sports really, so it's always been like a kind of a reality to go play and like in college and continue my athletic career. But I wouldn't have done it without my team and always getting better and improving with them.
Now, listen, I'm not a lacrosse expert, but I know there is like travel ball. I think you guys have mob down there, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
Yep.
So, I mean, how much experience did you have in lacrosse before you got to high school? Or is it when you got to high school? I don't know if you played other sports and then you went to lacrosse or kind of what your background is.
I started playing lacrosse in 7th grade. Before that, I dabbled in some softball, a little ballet, but I definitely excelled in lacrosse. More like my sophomore year, I started to get a little bit better, but
I don't know. Is Coach Romero trying to steal you away? It's a spring sport.
Well, she left out some facts. I don't like to interrupt Liv. She gets kind of fierce on me, but Liv also played volleyball at Mesa, and she was a captain on our flag football team this year in our inaugural season. So Liv could hop into any game and be competitive. We played pickleball as a team. She's not the best basketball player. I'm just going to throw that out there. However, she's one of those ones that I speak of, and if my daughter right here, Whitney, plays like Liv when she's in high school and competes in life like Liv does, I'd be continue to be blessed. But she's natural and she works hard and she's a big role model. She coaches our youth team. She leaves our practice every Tuesday and Thursday and sprints over to Vista Murrieta to try to pass that on to the youth. But again, she's one of those players that does it on the field and was blessed with it. So she's like a really dangerous combo. And shout out to her dad, DJ Garate, for 4 years. We're going to miss him.
Liv, let me ask you this. It's always kind of weird and awkward to talk about yourself. So let me ask you, what makes this team click? Why do you enjoy your teammates so much?
I just think that there's like literally a drama-free team this year. We've always had like some bickering and like with past years, but this year, like I feel like everybody generally really gets along and likes each other. And there's a lot of different characters on this team, but like when it comes down to it, everybody meshes so well, and that you can tell on and off the field. Like during breaks and lunches, people are always hanging out. We got best friends on this team, just a really close group of people.
That's awesome. That always seems to be like one of the hallmarks of a great team. It's like they actually get along with each other. You know, every team has their issues, right? And there's some disagreements here and there, but the hallmark of a team, a family that kind of push through that, and they're real tight. Coach, let me ask you, the playoff brackets will come out this weekend. Do you have any hunch what division you'll be in, who you might play, anything like that?
Well, it's so tough because they're going to go with a 16-team Division I bracket. I'm on the CIF committee, and we've discussed this. And last year, with that 16-team bracket, they took 11 teams, and we were ranked 10. So we're going in playing the number 3 or 4 seed last year, and it was Mater Dei, and we unfortunately fell short. This year, they're going to have a 16-team bracket, and I have zero idea if they're going to take 8, 10, 12, 14, or 16. My thought is, honestly, they're going to break it where there's the biggest drop off, but the biggest drop off happens between 7 and 8.
Okay.
So yesterday I felt really strong. We were going to go D2, top of D2, and maybe get a home playoff game and get a bye week 1. And I woke up today and we were like 1 point higher on the rating, and I was like, oh man, we're back to 11. I have no idea where we're going to fall, but what I do know is we're blessed with a really great group of seniors that have been committed to the program. I know that wherever we are, we're going to go out with whatever we have, and I'm excited for that.
Coach,
so zero.
Obviously you play to win the game, right? You're out there, you guys are trying to win league titles, you're trying to make a CIF run, all those sorts of things, but how much of it is just enjoying the journey, especially with a team that gets along with one another so much?
I got kind of sad the other day because I'm like, you guys, this is your last for sure. Because we're winning league, Pep. We haven't lost to a team in the Inland Empire since pre-COVID. Wow. However, if we go D1 and the team we're playing also won league, we're not going to get a home game. And the probability is they're going to be a really tough team. So on senior night, if it were in my favor, we would be playing a home game in playoffs like I think we deserve and I think we've earned. So at senior night, I got a little emotional because I'm like, I don't want it to be their last time to play on that field. They have put in so much time, but the journey's been really fun. We've done a lot of things outside of lacrosse together. We've spent our summers together. They've built relationships with all these other teams and all these other programs, and it does make me really proud to be a part of those celebrations for the other girls committing and the other team's success. There's not one team that we play in the Inland Empire where they don't have multiple friends on the teams because the club team, and I get to experience that with them. My kids are a part of the program. Coach Romero is a part of the program. Our community and our family is so close. So I get sad thinking that there is an end, which there is. I just hope that our end has a really happy tone to it. Mm-hmm. So regardless of if we win a ring, which I really want them to do, I think they've earned it. We've won in so many other aspects in life, so we've got to keep that in the big picture as well.
Man, so either sneak in to Division 1 or maybe be one of the higher seeded teams in Division 2 and get a playoff game.
There. Yeah. That's how it was last year too. Last year I felt more like we were going to be going D1. This year the drop off is a little bit higher. So Tom Simmons, I love you, man. Let's do some stuff at CIF and put us where we belong. Last year the girls kept saying, oh, I want to go D2. I really want to get a good run. And I'm like, you're D1 worthy. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You are good enough. And so you've got to play perfect at that level. We just raise your hand if you've played 2 years of lacrosse. Okay. So raise your hand if you've played 3 years of lacrosse. Raise your hand if you've played 4 or more. That is uncommon when you go to Orange County schools. And it's something that we're going to battle up against. And I told them that we've got so many things that they don't, but we don't have those years of experience. And we don't have the luxury of, the trainer after school. And we're not a private school, but we'll compete like we are. And we're going to compete like dogs wherever we lay. And that's fine. But those are the battles that we face, not the commitment, not the skill level. They're very athletic. They're really enjoyable to be around. I spend more time with the girls in this room than I do with my daughter. But they've loved on me in the becoming of a mom. 7 years ago, they have embraced me and Tony as raising our family at Mesa. This is my family. So I'm really hoping that at the end of this season, they leave feeling accomplished and proud of themselves. D1, D2, I don't care. Mm-hmm. Would I like to win a ring? Hell yes, I would. So keep that in the back of your mind. But that doesn't make or break my decision to coach again.
Mm-hmm. Well, Coach, whether it's lacrosse or football or whatever the sport, my personal philosophy is if you win a league championship, you should, at the very least, start the playoffs at home. Get a first-round home playoff game. And then if you want to do the stupid coin flip, whatever. But if you win a league title, put some value on that league title and start at home, right?
What's been hard is, I explained it to everybody at the meeting the other day. I'm like, you guys, we haven't lost a game to any of these teams. But last year, we went and played Mater Dei at Mater Dei, and we won league. I'm like, and then I don't get to recognize the girls as much with the CIF honors. And not that that's what it's about, but we should be able to recognize these girls equally. So I get a little fired up about it because I really think they deserve it, right?
Yeah.
But you're better than sometimes other teams, and you've got to compete up. And we've competed up this year. We scheduled really hard, and it kind of showed us where we were at the beginning of the year. I'm just proud that the girls in our area are just still so strong. And we don't even last night we kind of fake celebrated because we already knew we won league. It was cool to do it undefeated. We're back to back 6 times. That's crazy, right? That's cool.
Yeah.
But that's not where their goal is. That's not where their mind was. When they won it 3 games ago, it wasn't even discussed. When we clinched it, it wasn't discussed because their vision is CIF. We want this so bad. So I try to remind them, the girls that you're competing with, that you just went 16-0 against, all they wanted was to have an opportunity to beat you. You're beating them by double digits, doing it gracefully and doing it with hugs at the end of the game with the opposing players. That's awesome. But they didn't even really get fired up about it because their vision is something bigger.
Well, the journey will start as soon as Saturday, as soon as we see those first-round matchups, and we'll see what division and home, away, so much on the line for the Murrieta Mesa girls lacrosse team. Coach, always good catching up with you. Good to see the whole team. I'm glad they're all fed and happy with all that Chick-fil-A, so best of luck with the playoffs.
Hey, Pep, can we get the shout-out to Pep really quick? I come up in San Diego where they do the PPR, and it was something we really looked forward to in high school, is watching the other high schools get celebrated and recognized. Yeah. And you do such a good job, Pep. I hope that you know that you're appreciated and really genuinely supported through our athletics. So thank you for highlighting lacrosse and the Mesa Lacrosse program. Appreciate you.
You got it, Coach. Appreciate the kind words as well. That's the Murrieta Mesa girls lacrosse team here on the Inland Sports Show. Good luck, ladies. Inland Sports. All right, good stuff there from the Rams. Best of luck. The brackets come out on Friday, and then we'll see where they're gonna end up for the CIF Southern Section playoffs. All right, when we come back here, we're gonna talk some Santiago baseball. We got the Shark skipper Ty De Trinidad and flamethrower Striker Pence. That's coming up next here on the Inland Sports Show right after this.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Ken Sporting Goods in Norco, #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and letterman's jackets. Bass Athletics in Corona, driven by passion and hard work, Bass Athletics helps student athletes push their limits, compete with heart, and build the discipline to succeed in sports, school, and life. Visit bassathletics.com. Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands with Dr. Marcus Paulson. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist that you can trust. And Chick-fil-A in Yucaipa, right off the 10 freeway at Yucaipa Boulevard. Eat more chicken.
If you can give one piece of advice to young athletes, what would it be?
Take your academics just as serious as you take, even more serious than you take your athletic development. Learn different skills. Don't just train all day, learn to play the piano, learn an instrument, have some hobbies, invest in rest. It's all about being well balanced. And I think a lot of times student athletes, they don't realize how acquiring other skills translate to sports and what they want to do. It all adds up. Being someone that takes care of their responsibilities, takes care of business, it's all the same skill set. So build some other skill sets, make sure you get your rest.
All right, welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, everybody, live and amplified here on Wednesday night. A big thanks to our friends at Murrieta Mesa Girls Lacrosse for that interview, and we're going to pivot over to some high school baseball right now. We're going to talk about the Ambassador League and the CBL in just a moment, but we're going to start things off in the land of the Big Eight. The Big Eight League is always exceptional, one of the best high school baseball leagues in the entire country. This year, man, it is really good. There's some really great teams and players, always great coaches in the Big Eight League. And right now, it's just a fight to survive and finish in the top three to get an automatic playoff spot with so many teams competing for those three automatics at least. Might get more than three teams into the playoffs. I think there's a very real chance when you talk about the Big Eight League. But there's a huge series this week between Norco and Santiago. The Sharks and the Cougars going head-to-head. Norco is having an unbelievable season. But the Sharks are stacked too. The Sharks have some really great players, although not completely healthy. They're missing some of their top players right now, but they're finding a way to win, survive, and try to get to the playoffs. But again, big series against Norco. They lost 3-1 on Monday, but 2 more games this week. We had a chance to catch up with the Sharks on Tuesday night. Head coach Ty De Trinidad, who has always been so good to me and so good to this show. And one of his star players, Striker Pence, the nephew of Hunter Pence, a former Major League Baseball player. So he's got baseball in his blood. Plus, his name is Striker, right? He was destined to play baseball and be very good at it, too. He throws over 100 miles per hour. Tough guy to hit. So we're going to talk some Sharks baseball right now on the Inland Sports Show. Inland Sports. And now join us here on the Inland Sports Show from the land of the Big Eight. We've got the Santiago baseball team. We got the skipper Ty De Trinidad. We got Striker Pence as well. And Coach, listen, I think we've had the same conversation over and over and over, but the Big Eight League is literally second to none in the IE when it comes to baseball. I'd put you guys up against the Trinity League any day too, but this year seems exceptionally tough. I mean, how can you kind of size up the caliber of play that we're seeing in the Big Eight League this season?
I think you see parity from a lot of the teams. A lot of them have weapons, more than one. For example, a pitching staff that can make it through 3 league games during the season. And that's what you're starting to see happen with the teams like Norco, ourselves, Centennial, and Corona. You're starting to see teams have depth in terms of pitching, whereas back in the old days, it would be one guy and then a decent guy, and then you're good luck. But with us having to go 3 times a week, it makes it really tough. So you could see a guy's number 1 on Monday and still see another type of 1 on Friday. So that's what's changed, I think. Teams have elevated their game. The coaches have done a good job making sure they have pitching the whole way through.
Yeah, not just one ace, maybe 2 or 3 aces on each of these Big Eight League teams, like a Striker Pence over here. Striker, I know you got the ball on Monday against Norco, man. I just feel like when you play teams like Norco or Corona, you can't even make one mistake, right? I mean, like, they're going to make you pay. Like, how tough is it going up against these teams?
It's hard, the approach. I'm just like, try to fill it up. Those strikes, dude, I can, don't walk them. They're not going to crush me, but every at-bat's going to be tough. So just try as hard as I can. I try to spot, hope I have a good defense, and that's all I can control,
Well, Striker, in that game against Norco on Monday, obviously it's a 3-game series, so there's still a lot of baseball to be played. It's a big series for you guys. What do you feel like there was a positive in that game that you guys can pull from and say, like, hey, we're gonna come back better when we get back on the field against them?
I'll say a positive is we faced a really good arm, so it gets us prepared for the rest of the series. That guy's a 90-plus lefty. That's why Iola's really good, but he's more fastball slider. The lefty's always tough. Our best hitters are usually lefties.
Yeah, when Coach told me it was you and Hovermail going head-to-head, I'm like, dang, man, that's like must-see TV right there. What a great pitching matchup. Do you feel like Striker in a lot of these games, because of all the great pitching, they're more low-scoring than like a say 8-6 game? Or do you see more of like a 3-1 game like we saw on Monday?
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
Hey,
we're even hurt.
Oh, go ahead, Striker. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're even hurt a little bit. Like, we even have more depth arms that could make it even lower games,
And coach, I mean, what's the message to the team? Like, hey, if we could just scratch out a couple runs, like we're probably going to be in good shape with guys like, you've got several good pitchers, but with guys like Striker on the bump, I mean, dude, if you can just push across 3 runs, you probably feel pretty good.
Yeah, I think we try to keep it simple with them. When Striker's on the bump, he's going to keep us in the game no matter what. And so, he said earlier, if we could play catch, execute, and we'll be okay. Yesterday, we kind of shot ourselves in the foot early, not being able to score more than 1. But again, hats off to Norco. They did a great job. But it was a great game. I mean, he had 7 strikeouts in 4 innings. We total of 9 strikeouts, and they're a good hitting team. We were right there every time. We were within a hit, away from striking back, and that's the way it goes when you're playing top teams. We're both 2 good teams getting after it, and we have 2 more to go.
Coach, if you look a little bit, down the road in a couple of weeks, obviously the CIF playoffs. I mean, first things first, you just got to survive the Big 8, right, and get into a playoff spot. I mean, obviously these games and these series are important, but you try to remind these guys, hey, we got to just, pitch by pitch, game by game. Let's not think about too much right now, because if we don't win some of these ball games, none of that's going to matter. Like we got to, just focus on the details and get the little things right.
Yeah, and that's the thing we've been talking about is, hey, let's just focus at the task at hand. And it's like I always use the telescope, microscope. It's easy to look at a telescope far down the line. But again, if we're not paying attention to the microscope, the things in front of us, that can come back and bite us. Last year that happened to us. And fortunately, we were able, this year we've learned from it, we've matured, and hopefully in the next 2 weeks we'll take care of business and put ourselves in a good situation.
Coach, you've had some great players go through your program. You've seen and gone up against some great players in the Big 8 League and CIF playoffs. Where do guys like Striker compare to some of the guys that you've coached and seen before?
He's up there with those guys. We've had a ton of great players come through, and Striker's no different in terms of how good they are. I think for him, it's been tough at times because of who he is, the pressure, being a pitcher, where I've had position guys, for him to do so well, so fast, so quickly. People forget he's only a sophomore. He's still learning the game as well, learning to I guess, hone in on his craft, and he's going to get better every year. He's made strides from last year to this year. His mental part of the game has come a long way. So he's right there. He's grasping everything he can, and he's working hard. Like right now, in between our practices, he's headed to another workout to make sure he's ready to go the rest of the way. So he's doing his part. It's been fun.
All right, Striker. I know you come from a baseball family, but your name is Striker. I feel like you were destined to play baseball and pitch, man. I don't feel like you had any other choice in this.
That's awesome. I'm happy what I'm doing.
Striker, let me ask you this, man, because I know, dude, you're throwing over 100 miles per hour. You can reach back and just, really throw it hard. But what as a pitcher, what's the biggest thing that you feel like you can still improve upon besides, just throwing the fastball? How do you become a better pitcher in the long run?
I for sure could develop a lot more control with more pitches, spot, and late counts. I've been struggling a little bit this year in the 2-strike counts, done too many strikes. I definitely could develop like a changeup, refine my splitter so I have a better put out pitch to the lefty. That's what I think. I could improve on mostly.
And Striker, you can hit as well, but I feel like at the next level, you feel like you're a pitcher, right? That's where your future's at.
I don't know.
No, you haven't decided.
Ready. Come on now.
He's not ready to give that up yet, Pep.
Okay. Shohei Ohtani of the Big 8 League, I guess.
Yep.
We got over here.
I'm the American Ohtani.
There you go, man. Striker, what's the mood on the team like right now as you go through the last couple of weeks of the regular season in terms of trying to make this playoff push and get this team to the postseason?
We're all good. We're hyped. We're only a couple from clinching. This is a tough matchup, but this is really going to set us up for the playoffs, what we're going to see when we get there.
All right, good stuff, Striker. Let me go back to Coach De Trinidad. And Coach, again, when you look at these last couple of weeks to feel like you guys are playing with confidence, gaining some momentum to make this playoff push and ultimately get into the postseason, what do you think is the most important thing that you guys got to do these last couple of league games?
Honestly, we got to stay healthy. We've lost a couple arms that are big for us, but honestly, everyone's got to step up and do their part. The focus is going to be keep it simple, stay in your lane, do what you need to do. Don't try to do more than you're supposed to, and let's not panic. Again, we've got 5 games left. We just got to take care of our part. And I feel good going into the playoffs because that's a whole different, I always call it, there's 3 seasons. You got your preseason, your regular season, and you hope for that postseason. I feel good going into that. I think we'll be okay, but we got to get there first. But that's what we're trying to do, simplify. There's no need to put any extra pressure. They know what they need to do. I mean, we've had a great season in terms of facing really good opponents and bouncing back and putting up some numbers.
Have you guys been healthy all season long? I mean, like, was there at any point were you guys healthy?
We've been healthy, yeah. We were healthy probably all the way up going into the National Classic, and then we had 2 arms go just recently, sideline, and not sure if we're going to have them back in time. So that's made it a little difficult.
So next man up, right? Is that how it works?
Yeah. But the next 2 guys that have stepped up have done a great job, and they're going to continue. That's the one thing I'm happy with is the 2 guys that are replacing the other 2 are ready to go, and they've already shown that, and they're going to do a great job for us.
Well, Coach, always appreciate our conversation. Striker, it's good catching up with you as well. Good luck with Norco the rest of the week and Big 8 League play the last couple of weeks here of the regular season. Appreciate the time, guys.
Thanks, Pep.
Yep, thanks for inviting me.
You got it. That's Striker Pence and Ty De Trinidad, the skipper for the Santiago baseball team here on the Inland Sports Show. Inland Sports. All right, good stuff there from the Santiago Sharks here on the Inland Sports Show. Man, love Big 8 League baseball. So many good teams, great coaches, great players, of course, and some really big series, some great games coming up here to decide who's going to win the league title and also who's going to get into the playoffs. All right, more high school baseball right now. Real quick, our Bass Athletics play of the week, and it was a no-no. Inland Sports. Aquinas taking on Ontario Christian, and that is Hayden Vanderhoof on the bump for the Falcons. He tossed a no-hitter against the Knights, and it was a dominant series for the Aquinas Falcons. In fact, in their 3-game series against Ontario Christian, they beat the Knights 10-0, 10-0, and then 7-0 in the no-hitter by Vanderhoof. And in that 3-game series, the Falcons held the Knights to just 2 hits. 1 hit in the first game, 1 hit in the second game, and then the no-no right there in the series cap with Vanderhoof going the distance, getting the no-hitter. So that's our Bass Athletics play of the week. The Aquinas Falcons on a 5 straight Ambassador League titles, trying to make it 6 in a row. They got a big series this week, and it starts today. Aquinas taking on Linfield Christian. It's a Ken Sporting Goods must-see game, or games in the plural. 3-game series for the Falcons and the Lions. It'll wrap up on Saturday. This has big-time Ambassador League title implications. We'll see if Aquinas can win its 6th league title in a row. There was a challenger. I know Arrowhead Christian's got a really good team, but Linfield Christian's been having a great regular season. Can the Lions challenge the mighty Falcons of this one? It's a Ken Sporting Goods must-see games, and when you look at the whole series between these 2 squads. And also, speaking of pitching, had a chance to catch up with Gavin Garcia at Cajon High School. He helped the Cowboys beat Redlands East Valley by a score of 14-0. Tons of Major League scouts on hand to see Gavin Garcia, who was, I was told, hitting around 97, 98 on the gun, sitting around 92 miles per hour. So the guy can really bring it. So we're going to have more with Gavin Garcia, including an interview this week on Sports Weekly on IEMG. So make sure you look for that. We'll talk about Cajon trying to win a Citrus Belt League title. The Cowboys are in first place right now in the CBL. We'll also talk about pro baseball if Garcia is expecting to get drafted this summer. So more on Gavin Garcia this upcoming week on Sports Weekly on IEMG. All right, when we come back here on the Inland Sports Show, we're not done yet. Some breaking news coming out of La Sierra High School boys basketball. The Eagles have not one, but 2 new head coaches, and they are very familiar names. We'll be back with more Inland Sports Show right after this.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Ken Sporting Goods in Norco, #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and letterman's jackets. Bass Athletics in Corona. Driven by passion and hard work, Bass Athletics helps student athletes push their limits, compete with heart, and build the discipline to succeed in sports, school, and life. Visit bassathletics.com. Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands with Dr. Marcus Paulson. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist that you can trust. And Chick-fil-A in Yucaipa, right off the 10 freeway at Yucaipa Boulevard. Eat more chicken.
Hey guys, this is Jason at Ken Sporting Goods. We're almost to 1,000 Instagram followers. Tell your friends, like us, come down and see us. Thank you so much for your loyalty.
Fact versus fiction. Youth athletes need sport-specific training in order to develop speed, agility, and strength. The fiction is that you see all of these kids doing sport-specific strength and conditioning, doing exercises they can't quite handle yet, and they don't need to, because all they need to do is get stronger, build core strength, learn how to jump and land, learn how to run, learning how to squat, learning how to press. Those skills are foundational for most sports. It doesn't need to be sport-specific quite yet.
Of course, we've talked about this. They're going to be shorthanded, so hard to say what the Lakers are going to do against a Rockets team that's pretty young, plus Kevin Durant. Man, that is a tough out in the first round.
Yeah, and Kevin Durant's kind of looking to, redeem himself a little bit. The Phoenix experiment didn't really work. No. So he smells a little blood in the water. I think this is a really tough matchup, especially with the Lakers being so shorthanded, like you said.
Yeah, a 4 versus a 5, right? So at least on paper, it's like they're about even. And then if the Lakers do not have two of their big 3-star players, so it's going to hurt. So we'll find out, though. We'll see if LeBron has the ability to carry a team on his, was he 41? I think 41-year-old shoulders in this postseason. So that's your NBA playoff pick. Well, the Dodgers just completed the sweep of the Mets, and they won 8-2 last night. This shows you that money can't buy championships. I know a lot of people argue that the Dodgers are so good and they win all these championships because they spend the most money, and they're not wrong. But look at the Mets. The Mets have the second largest payroll in all of baseball, and they can't win. They're terrible. So the Dodgers make the money work. The Mets don't. The Dodgers sweep the Mets. Shohei Ohtani was awesome again last night on the mound. 10 strikeouts against the Amazing. So money, even though you have money, it can't buy you happiness, and it can't buy you championships.
Right. And success and winning just makes everything look easy, and it makes people forget that it is not easy. And thank goodness this kind of came around for the Dodgers, because basically they're just becoming the villain of MLB, and they say it's just the money. It's just the money. Well, it's like you said, the Mets have the same amount of money just about, and they're terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, and Boston spends a lot. I mean, there's teams out there, big market teams, that spend a lot of money, but at least in payroll, Dodgers and Mets are 1-2, and the Mets are terrible. I mean, they're still not good. They weren't good last year. They're not good this year, and the Dodgers have the best record in baseball. Inland Sports. All right, welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, hanging out with my boy Patrick in the morning on KCAL 96.7 FM every Monday and Thursday morning, talking sports. All right, in this segment, we've got big breaking news from La Sierra High School. They have 2 new head coaches for the boys basketball program. They are both former head coaches at La Sierra, and now they are back together coaching. Without further ado, La Sierra boys basketball right here on the Inland Sports Show. Inland Sports. And now join us here on the Inland Sports Show. We have a new head coach for La Sierra boys basketball. Not really new, because he's back again, Justin Norman, who had a lot of success with the Eagles. In fact, I think he won over 20 games, I think a couple different times. So, Coach, why go back to La Sierra?
Well, first to start, it was it was 2019 when I left, and with good reason. There was some issues going on, and not with the kids, nothing, but it was personal stuff. And I kind of got sick of beating some of the guys in our league. They were kind of weak a little bit. No, I'm kidding. No, I took over at Norco for 2 years, and then there was just some stuff that was going on that trying to get me over there that didn't really make sense financially, and just career wise, like it was a tough, I guess, chance to take, which I couldn't do with my kids. And so the team hasn't made the playoffs since I left, and the last couple of years it's been rough. And seeing some of the kids that have been on campus I figured they could do a little bit better. But then one of my best buddies in the world came to me, and we had a proposition, and we decided that it would be really fun to coach again together. And so, some guy named Geoff Gorham, I don't know if you know him. I mean, I don't know, you might know him, but that guy, yeah, he came to me and said, give me some cool, I don't know, just some good propositions about how much fun we could have. And I remember coaching with him initially. We did have a lot of fun. And so our kids are a little bit older now, and I think we can really make a difference over there. And so I'm hoping that this all works out for the best.
So the timing was right. It was the right place. And being a head coach is hard. I mean, there's a lot of responsibility. So as co-head coaches, hopefully you can kind of break that up a little bit so it's not too much.
Correct.
Jeff,
Jeff's gonna have
you've been broadcasting for all this time. I mean, why coach, man? You got a good thing going.
Well, Pep, I got a little tired of not calling some fun hoops games the last year with you, Pep. You and I were partners for the last decade for calling basketball. I'm still going to call football and baseball, but I'm going to tell you this. The best couple of years of my life were coaching with that young man, that guy, Justin Norman. And I'll be honest with you, he was in my wedding. He's one of my. There are 3 people in my life or 4, including, it's like a pentaveret. I have Pep Fernandez. I have Mark Gard. I have Justin Norman and Tim Hatch. Mm-hmm. And they just recently passed Brian Bell. Those are my ride or die guys. So I said, I want to come back and coach. My son, my youngest is in 7th grade. My oldest is in 7th grade. My youngest is in 4th. It's time for them to come out and hang out. And I wanted to just coach basketball with my one of my dear friends, who I think might be the best basketball coach in the last the last 20 years, maybe, in the city of Riverside.
No, stop.
Five straight River Valley League championships. He has 4 River Valley League coaches of the year. I have 3 myself. That is 7 combined. La Sierra. My dad coached there. I was the head coach there. My best buddy in the world, Justin Norman, coached there. And we just want to have fun. I want my sons to come around. I want his children around. And, we've been through a lot together, Justin and I, the last 15 years. For sure. And I want to be there for him. He wants to be there for me. And I want to just kind of give back a little bit, the little bit left I have.
Yeah. Geoff, can you remind us what was your record against me while you were coaching Norte Vista?
0-10.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I totally forgot. I thought you got us a couple of times, but no, you didn't.
Yeah, but you know what? Though I still have a winning record against Mark Guard, so that makes it even better. And I beat North when they had the Barty and they had some NBA guys.
Yeah.
And remember at La Sierra, I damn near almost beat King High School with my crazy coaching.
With Kawhi Leonard, Tony Snell, and
Kawhi Leonard, Tony Snell, Eric Wise, and the guard that was the
Arlon Brown.
Yes. Dude, and guess what? La Sierra was suited up 25 guys that night and damn near beat them.
So you guys are both former La Sierra head coaches, but I was going back. Coach Norman had a lot more success than you, Geoff, at La Sierra. I looked at your records. I went back on Max Preps. You did not have some very good seasons at La Sierra.
No, I was getting pelted with rocks and stuff when I first got there. It was a rough go, and I had to bring in Justin Norman to. I will say this though: we had the top scorer in CIF as a freshman.
No, he's a sophomore. Because he was on the sophomore state team.
Okay, so we had Nick Paulson was the leading scorer in the state and CIF. I'll tell you what, we're offensively minded. If you want to come in and score a bunch of points, I don't know if we can guard a damn soul, but Justin Norman,
Geoff,
and I.
Geoff, we had my La Sierra, when I was at La Sierra, our house was called the Ice House. We kept everybody below 40 below.
40
and if they scored more than 40, we ran for every point that they ran or that they went over. And even when you were doing your run and gun 6 seconds or less, we still ran for all those points. So
you know what? And good for those guys. They beat me up for 10 in a row, and they should have run a little bit at least.
Hey, you guys gave us a good test. I was nervous a couple times.
The Ice House. I love that. The Ice House, 40 below. So between Geoff's system scoring 100 points and your defensive-minded prowess, keeping teams 40 below, you guys are going to beat everybody. You're going to be 28-0, it sounds like.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's why Justin Norman's the head coach.
Hey, I think we're on Prize Picks, Pep, so you better start putting your bets in. No, I'm kidding. No, never. Don't ever do that.
Let me quiz you guys real quick. So, Geoff, you were the head coach in the 06-07 season and 07-08. So, your second year was by far better. How many wins did you have in that second year?
8.
We had a lot.
You had 11.
I had 11?
Yes.
Yeah, 3 more than I thought. But you remember the first year we were terrible. I went 0-24 my first year at Novi, and we won 20 games my last year. So that's not a bad turnaround.
No. Let's see. And then let's see, Justin, you had over 20 wins 4 different times. Sorry, Geoff, but he had a lot of success. What was the most amount of wins, Justin, that you had at La Sierra? Do you remember?
I think we were 24-4.
Yes, sir.
My most sorry. I'm here at Roosevelt High School, Santiago against I can't do it.
Give us a live update.
Yeah, Santiago against Roosevelt. Jesus, I'm terrible at this. Santiago against Roosevelt for the league championship for lacrosse. Sorry, my daughter's playing.
All right, so we're gonna make this quick because you're a dad first, and we want you to get back to the match.
We got time. I'll put you guys live. We're good.
Yeah, but you went 24-4.
Yes.
10-0 in the River Valley League in the 2013-2014 season. So not too long ago, I mean, La Sierra was winning some games, like you said. You went to the playoffs. I think though, was it about 10 years ago the last time the Eagles went to the postseason?
Yeah, 2017 was my first or my last year that we won. We were 46-4 in my 5 years that we won league.
That was a run.
none of which we lost to Geoff. We lost to Mark Guard one time. Or twice maybe, and then we lost to Patriot twice, I think, but never Geoff.
Hey,
he's on the good team now. So.
I never lost to Patriot though.
Yeah, I know.
I always beat him, and I know Mark Guard and Justin both know I never lost to Patriot.
Always beat him.
What I'll say is that Mark Guard, Geoff Gorham, John Cabrera, and my old college coach who actually came and coached with me for the last, I think, 4 or 5 years I coached, Joel Haldeman from La Sierra University, are my 4 best mentors and people who, nice, Santiago scores, down 3-2 and 1 minute and 1 minute left in the fourth.
It's a live play-by-play here.
Live play-by-play. 37, Gracie! I forget her last name, but yeah, she's a stud. But yes, Mark Guard, Geoff Gorham, Tim Hatch, and Joe Haldeman are my 4 mentors of coaching, and I've learned a lot from all of them, and I've learned a lot from Geoff of what not to do. But no, I'm kidding. No, he taught me a lot as well, and I cherish every moment that we've had. So it's been great.
All right, guys, let me wrap it up like this. Did you guys ever in your wildest dreams imagine that you would both be back at La Sierra coaching basketball and together?
Nope. Never thought I would coach again, at least run a program. And that's going to be on Geoff because he's going to have to do all the paperwork and shit. I'm just going to I'm just going to coach basketball. No, I'm kidding. I'll figure it out. Again. Sorry.
And then Geoff, for you, man, I mean, that's really getting back into coaching. It's been a while. Things have changed.
Well, I'll tell you what. There's only one person. I have to wear these sunglasses to look cool, but I'm wearing my other glasses. I'm going to say this. There is nobody in the world that I would have ever come back and coached with if it wasn't for my friend Justin Norman. We've been through a lot. And I'm going to say this, with the loss of his beautiful wife Megan, and my first the divorce I went through, we were each other's best friends, and there's nobody in the world I want to be next to than that guy and whisper in his ear how cute he is. That's
so terrible.
I'm sure he's looking forward to that.
But thank you, Geoff.
I'm looking forward to coaching basketball again.
Yeah. Everybody for that gray beard to be whispering in my ear.
Yeah, but I love coaching basketball practices more than anything. And you and I did it for a couple of years together, and I don't think there was ever a time in my life that I was more happy to be with somebody than be with my guy and maybe finish my coaching career with my one of my best friends in the world.
Oh. Yeah, make me tear up. You make me tear up, Geoff.
Yeah, he's crying over there. Well, Coach Norman, we're going to let you get back to that Big 8 League championship lacrosse match. Good luck to your daughter out there. Who's she playing for?
Santiago.
Yeah.
So they're playing Roosevelt at Roosevelt, and it's 3-2.
Uh-oh.
In the first quarter with like 21 seconds left. So Roosevelt was the number 1 team. Santiago was number 2. And we'll see. My daughter's been struggling a little bit with a little bit of knee issues, so she's not doing midfield as much as she was. She's only doing attack. So sucks for her, but she's still on the field, and we'll see. Hopefully, she gets a couple goals tonight.
Doing her part to win a Big 8 League title.
Hey,
yes.
If she has bad knees, are you sure that you're the father?
I am definitely the father. Hey, her mom tore her ACL, so she got it from somewhere.
Bad knees.
That's right.
All right, Geoff, Justin, congratulations on the La Sierra basketball gigs, taking over the Eagles, and best of luck this season.
Yeah, thank you for having us on. I appreciate it. You've always been awesome, and I know you got to put up with Geoff, and I'll always be there for you if you need any help to, some support. I'm a good shoulder to cry on.
It's mutual. Now you have to put up with him, so it's mutual.
Yeah, I know.
If you need me, I'll be in your corner.
I'll be calling you, buddy. All right, man. Thank you, guys.
Inland Sports.
All right, well, there you have it. Gorham and Norman are back at La Sierra as co-head coaches of the Eagles. Again, they haven't made the playoffs in about 10 years. The last time they were a playoff team, Coach Norman was there leading the program. Now he's back with Geoff leading the Eagles this upcoming season. If anything else, it's going to be a lot of fun. So, all right, big thanks to Coach Gorham, Coach Norman. Let's see, Santiago baseball coach De Trinidad and Striker Pence, and of course Murrieta Mesa girls lacrosse, 6-time Southwestern League champions of the world. Well, that's going to do for this edition of the Inland Sports Show. If you made it this far, give this video a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. We're also all over social media, mostly on X and Instagram. You can find us there. And if you're a local business or organization and you want to help us share these positive sports stories here in the IE, hit us up. You can send us a message on social media, or our email is inlandsportshow@gmail.com. I'm Pep Fernandez. God bless you guys. Stay safe out there. We'll see you next time on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show. Good night.